Imagine just effortlessly creating professional images. No more wrestling with complex software for hours on end. What if you could just tell an AI tool, exactly what you want? And then, almost like magic, your most complex ideas just appear. Today, we're doing a deep dive into Google Gemini's really powerful new image editor. Internally, they call it Nano Banana. It's free, it's surprisingly capable, and honestly, it seems like it's changing how we create visuals. Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unpack the most exciting breakthroughs and kind of make them accessible for you. So today, yeah, it's all about Google Gemini's AI image editor, Nano Banana. The core idea here, for me, it's pretty profound. This tool takes really complex visual stuff and makes it astonishingly simple. Just using natural language commands, like having a design studio right in your chat box, just ready to go.
That's exactly right. And for this deep dive, we're definitely not just scratching the surface. We're going to explore what makes this AI kind of special, its intelligence, how easy it is to use. And then, yeah, we'll walk through 10 really mind-blowing practical uses that came straight from the source material you found. We should also touch on the ethical side, because that's important with this kind of power, and really get into why this feels like more than just an update. It's a real shift.
Okay, let's kick things off with the first segment then. Instant background removal and replacement. For a lot of people, this is probably the feature they've been waiting for. Professional results for free.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is why it's so good. It's not like those simple tools you might have used before. This AI handles incredibly complex details, things like wisps of hair, or the little spaces between fingers, even transparent stuff like glasses or a wine glass. That stuff is usually a nightmare, even if you know Photoshop really well. And crucially, it doesn't just cut the subject out. It intelligently figures out the lighting and color. So it blends the person or object into the new background naturally. You could tell it, take the woman off this messy beach. Put her in a modern office, minimalist, big window, city skyline at night. And the results, they look great. That relighting part is key.
That level of blending, that nuance, it really changes things.
Yeah.
Like small businesses can suddenly get studio quality product shots for their websites. Or, creators can get a consistent look for their thumbnails without spending a fortune or hours editing. It just opens it up.
Absolutely. So what's the biggest time saver here for everyday tasks?
It's getting that instant professional removal without all the tricky manual work.
Right. And building on that. Imagine changing clothes, fashion styles, just with a simple command. This isn't just like a basic virtual try-on. It's more flexible for actual design.
The precision is what gets me.
Yeah.
Everything else stays exactly the same. The person's face, their hair, the pose, the lighting, the background, all identical. But it can completely swap out an item of clothing. And it gets how fabric works, the drapes, the wrinkles. That usually takes ages, masking every little fold. You can literally say, keep the guy in the background, but change his white shirt to a charcoal gray turtleneck, make it look like wool. It just skips over so much traditional work. Designers can visualize options instantly.
How does this change the design iteration process then?
Designers can just visualize clothing options super fast, right, on models?
Exactly. It moves from slow physical mock-ups to rapid digital exploring. Minutes, not days. Like a fashion show in your browser.
Okay, now here's where it gets really wild, I think. Combining multiple images, like teaching the AI about different subjects from separate photos and then blending them into one scene.
Yeah, it's kind of like stacking Lego blocks, but with image data, building something new. The AI analyzes, pulls out the key info, and then reconstructs a totally new scene using those pieces. And a pro tip here is iterative editing. You can refine it. So you could start with, say, take the little girl from image 1 and the golden retriever from image 2, put them together on green grass in a park, sunny day, have her hugging the dog. Okay, great. Then you follow up. Cool. Now make it sunset. Add those golden sunbeams through the trees in the back. You can build up these really complex visual stories step by step, great for art or GIFs or even ads.
What kind of creative barriers does that break down?
It lets you merge totally separate things into one new, believable picture.
Which leads perfectly into multi-turn editing, having an actual conversation with the AI to build stuff piece by piece.
Exactly. You don't need one giant perfect command right at the start. Each prompt is like a building block. You can fine-tune details like a director working on a scene. It makes experimenting really fast. Think about that interior design example they gave. You start with an empty room photo. Command 1, add a chocolate brown leather sofa against the left wall. Okay. Command 2, now put a rustic oak coffee table in front of it. Command 3, on the table add some books and a steaming cup of coffee. See? Building it up. Command 4, change the wall color to deep moss green. And maybe Command 5, Replace the wood floor with a beige wool carpet.
Whoa, hold on. Imagine building an entire visual world just by talking to it, scene by scene. That interior design example. Yeah, that really clicks. I mean, I've spent hours scrolling for ideas. The idea of just describing the changes, seeing it happen, that's kind of mind-blowing.
How does this empower designers with rapid iteration?
They can try things out super fast, building detailed scenes bit by bit.
Okay, next up, something everyone probably wishes they had sometimes. Removing unwanted stuff. People. Objects.
Ah, yes, the photobomber problem. Or just distracting clutter in an otherwise great shot.
So the AI intelligently takes out what you don't want, and then, this is the clever part, seamlessly rebuilds the background behind it. It's way better than the old content-aware fill tools because it seems to understand the 3D space. It doesn't just smudge pixels around, it actually reconstructs things with the right perspective and texture. So you upload that vacation photo, right? You say, remove everyone except the woman in the red dress in the middle. And it'll actually rebuild the cobblestones or the grass or the building that was behind those other people. Super useful for cleaning up travel pics, making real estate photos look better, even fixing old photos with tears or spots.
What makes this different from older fix-it tools?
It intelligently rebuilds the background, really understanding the image's depth.
Okay, so from removing things to changing the color of basically anything.
Yep. Cars, flowers, furniture, you name it. And with surprising precision, the AI gets material properties. So if you ask for matte black, it knows to reduce reflections. Ask for shiny chrome, and it will punch up the highlights. It understands the difference. You can say, change this car to matte black, or even with something complex like a flower bouquet. Change all the pink flowers in this bunch to sunflower yellow. It's pretty nuanced, great for showing product variations, tweaking marketing images, or just getting creative personally.
Can it apply texture and finish changes too?
Yes, it intelligently tweaks reflections and highlights to match the material you ask for.
All right, what about getting artistic?
Yeah.
Transforming regular photos into different styles.
Yeah, this is fun. You can turn, say, a landscape photo into an impressionist oil painting, or take a portrait and make it look like a 90s anime-style cartoon character. Generic styles, art movements, those work really well. Just a heads up, specific copyrighted styles, like trying to make something look Pixar, might get blocked. But there's still huge freedom within general styles, good for artists looking for inspiration, cool social media posts, or graphic design elements.
How does this expand creative exploration for artists?
It allows instant experiments with all sorts of different artistic styles.
And beyond just editing existing images, it can actually create graphics from scratch, like thumbnails, including text.
Yeah, this is a big one. Think about making a YouTube thumbnail. You could start general. Create a YouTube thumbnail about mysteries of the deep ocean. Use dark blue and black, make it mysterious. Then you add your own picture. Okay, put my image in the bottom right, make me look surprised, pointing at a glowing fish in the middle. And finally, the text. Add strangest creatures on Earth in bold white font right at the top.
Honestly. Even with all this tech,
Yep.
yeah, I still kind of fight with getting the text exactly where I want it sometimes on the first try. It's definitely a work in progress, but just being able to generate a whole layout like that, even if you need to tweak it, that's huge for YouTubers, bloggers, small businesses.
How much graphic design skill does this replace, realistically?
It seriously lowers the bar, reduces the need for traditional design know-how quite a bit.
Okay, what about lighting and contrast? Fine-tuning the mood. You can do that with natural language, too. The AI understands how to isolate parts of the image for local adjustments. That's something that used to need really careful masking and fiddling with layers in pro software. You could say, boost the contrast just on the man's face, but leave the background brightness alone. Or add a warm light stream coming from the window on the left. Hey, even things like make the whole picture darker, moodier, like it's a stormy day. That level of control is fantastic for photographers tweaking shots, filmmakers playing with color grading, or anyone trying to keep a consistent aesthetic.
Can this rescue images that were maybe poorly lit to begin with?
Yeah, definitely. It helps correct shots that are too dark or too bright.
And finally, maybe one of the most moving uses, restoring old photos.
This is really impressive stuff. Breathing new life into damaged memories can repair damage, tears, stains, fading. It can colorize black and white photos incredibly well. It can even sort of modernize old photos, making them sharper. The source material mentioned this stunning example, reconstructing a whole face realistically. Even when the original eyes, nose, mouth were just blurs, it figured it out from bone structure and other clues, apparently. Just imagine taking an old, faded family picture and saying, fix this. colorize it, make it look modern.
Beyond family photos, what historical impact could this have?
It could help recover and preserve really valuable historical visual records. Sponsor read.
Okay, this technology is clearly amazing. But we also need to talk about responsibility, right? The potential downsides.
Absolutely crucial. The ease with which you could potentially create deep fakes, fake images or videos that look real, that's a serious concern. Think about misinformation or trying to alter photo evidence. Users really need to be aware of this. Google says they're working on countermeasures, like digital watermarks, synth-ID, they call it to flag AI-generated stuff. And technically, it's not perfect yet. As I mentioned, text handling can still be a bit finicky. Sometimes if you ask for a really complex scene with lots of interacting parts, you might get slightly illogical details. And yeah, like we said, asking for copyrighted characters or specific brand styles, that's generally a no-go. It's powerful, but there are guardrails.
So bringing this all together, Nano Banana, it feels like more than just another tool update. It seems like a fundamental shift.
I really think it is. It's a paradigm shift in how we approach visual creation. The core impacts are huge. First, it's democratizing creativity. You don't need the expensive software or years of training anymore. Anyone can create. Second, the speed. Speed of thought, almost. Tasks that took hours, now seconds. Frees you up to focus on the idea, not just the technique. Third, the quality. The results often look genuinely professional, sometimes even better than manual edits. Fourth, that natural interface. Using plain language just makes it so much more accessible. And fifth, maybe the biggest barrier removed. It's free, zero cost to get started. That opens it up to absolutely everyone.
This deep dive into Google Gemini's Nano Banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows a truly revolutionary tool is here. We definitely encourage you, the listener, go visit Google Gemini. Try these features out. They're free. The possibilities really do feel kind of endless right now.
So with all these creative barriers just melting away, what visual story will you tell first?
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Out to your own music.